MyFi Accounting. Glenn, thanks for coming along.
Thanks, Marshall.
Appreciate
nice
your
to be
time. I know you're a busy man, so I really appreciate your time. Tony asks, I have a HECS debt. Are there any advantage of paying off this debt sooner from my tax return?
That's a great question from Tony. And unfortunately, Tony, since January 2017, there has been no incentive provided by the tax office in paying off your HECS debt or HELP debt, as it's known now. Earlier, there used to be a bonus that people received. However, that's been removed now. So unfortunately, no. The good thing is though, Tony, that your HELP debt is quite a low interest-bearing debt and one of the cheapest you could find. I'm sure you'd like to be able to find home loans at those rates. So it is something that unfortunately you won't be able to get a bonus for paying down voluntarily. However, for people in certain occupations, Marshall, you may be able to get a benefit which is called the HECS benefit.
Okay.
And basically for certain occupations, the HO will give you a reduction in your HECS benefit without payment. So if you've studied and graduated from nursing or an education course or a mathematics or science degree, the government will provide you with a reduction to your HELP debt, which is quite a material amount of reduction. And for the 2017 financial year, that's equal to $1,800.
Okay.
So quite a sizable amount. And that's pretty much for filling out a form.
Fantastic.
And a lot of these graduates out there working meet the eligibility criteria, but aren't aware of this benefit. So
very good.
Something to definitely look into if you are one of those professions or have graduated from one of those courses and are working.
Good to know. Good to know. So look, there used to be some benefits. I know we were discussing, my own situation, and we're able to get a discount when we did mine, but unfortunately not there. But looks to see there still is something there. But look, from a loan perspective, and we come across this a fair bit with a lot of our clients. Unfortunately, having the HELP debt there, a lot of the banks treat it like a personal loan or an unsecured loan. So unfortunately, when we take into account your borrowing capacity and what your income can be used to borrow, what the banks will do is they'll look at your income, and whatever amount you're paying per month for your HELP debt, they'll use that actually as a liability per month. So although that you're paying it down over a period of time, they set it over a certain period, and they take it as if it's going to be ongoing throughout the whole loan. So in our eyes, unfortunately, it is a negative when it comes to borrowing, because it looks like you're going to have, if it's a $300 a month you're paying off your HELP debt, it looks like you've got a liability you're paying $300 a month off. So that's where when it comes time to borrowing and speaking to your accountant and understanding if there's any advantages or not of paying it off. From the tax side, we've probably seen that there probably isn't, but from a lending side, there certainly is, because if you can get rid of that $300 a month as that liability, it's going to help you be able to show that you can afford a bit more if you're looking to buy for something that's a bit more outside of your price range. So it doesn't sound like much tax advantages, but from a borrowing perspective, if you can get rid of the HELP debt and you are able to pay it back sooner, albeit it's a fantastic rate, and there's not much debt out there you can get for that cheap. And compared to our system, compared to a lot of other systems, especially over in the States, where their debts are much higher rates and more commercial rates, and their debts are basically always on your credit report regardless of what happens. So even if you go bankrupt over there, that it still actually appears that you've got the debt, unfortunately. So I think we still have a fairly good in Australia, and it's a good system to help people get that tertiary education, get a bit more knowledge behind them before you get in the workforce. But when it does come time to buying a house, it generally is much better if you've got rid of that HECS debt and it's paid off before you come in and get a loan. So good question there by Tony.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I might add in relation to that topic is that with the new laws that have just been passed, the government is looking to recoup or take repayment of those HELP debts a lot earlier in a graduate's life. And what they've done is reduce the repayment threshold from $55,874 down to $42,000. So what that means out there is that the government will actually be recovering repayments sooner from those graduates who are now employed working. The rates are generally the same, so it's not costing more, it's just the repayments are starting
sooner.
earlier in their life, which will affect their net income
Yep.
and may affect their lending
Ability.
opportunities. Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to have less money sooner in terms of when they get paid. There's going to be more going out for tax and more for the HECS debt.
Correct.
But it means it's being paid off sooner.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that will be coming down sooner. So
Okay.
it's a positive and a negative when
Yeah.
looking at lending, I would imagine. Yeah.
Depending on how you're looking at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough. Thanks again, Tony. We look forward to receiving your questions, and you can post your questions either on our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, or you can private message us on Facebook. Send through your questions and we look forward to answering them.